Hi, my name is Sarish Sudhakaran, and in this video, we'll analyze the cinematography of Darius Khondji. The goal is to break down his techniques so you have a starting place to learn more about his work. Darius Khondji began his career with a bang with, forgive my pronunciation, Le Trésor des Chiens. It is one of my favorites from his body of work. You should definitely check it out. He immediately followed up with back-to-back gems like Delicatessen and City of Lost Children. After having worked with David Fincher on a Nike commercial, he was given the responsibility to helm Seven. Seven brought fame to Khondji not only due to its box office success, but also the distinct bleak style with deep, rich blacks. The process Khondji used to get these also became popular. I won't go into much detail here about it, because digital capture can reproduce it with far greater control in post-production nowadays. But briefly, the process is a combination of flashing and silver retention. There are various ways to do this. For example, you can flash using an Arriflex Varicon or Panavision Panaflasher. The former drops down into a matte box, while the latter goes between the camera and film. It has a built-in light that you can fine-tune to lower the contrast. This helps in raising the shadow detail to milky proportions, while not affecting the midtones and highlights. Khondji could also achieve similar results by adding smoke or haze, or by pre-flashing the negative. Today you can do this just by shooting log. To counter the low contrast look, a silver retention process like CCE or ENR and so on is applied to the answer print to bring the blacks down, like China ink in Khondji's words, while still retaining shadow detail. In addition to David Fincher, Darius Khondji has worked with great directors like Danny Boyle, Woody Allen, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, Sidney Pollack, Roman Polanski, Bernardo Bertolucci, Joon-ho Bong, Mikhail Haneke, and Wong Kar-wai. He draws naturally talented directors with his unique skills and vision. Darius doesn't prefer the Steadicam or crazy handheld camera work. His favorite format is anamorphic, shot mostly on Kodak stock, and he usually uses Cooke or Panavision anamorphic lenses. He tends to the older lenses because he isn't a fan of too much sharpness or a lack of character. He does shoot spherical as well, but typically crops to widescreen. He also shoots on digital cameras, mainly the Arri Alexa. Where he shines is with lighting. He starts with one strong visual idea that will guide him for the rest of the movie. He typically lights his actors full on, in 3/4 or with side lighting. He prefers a super soft, shadowless key light. He rarely uses backlight, though occasionally you do see subtle edge or kicker lights. He prefers to light using motivated sources, and has recently simplified his lighting style to almost a single motivated source. When he doesn't have motivated sources, he can improvise. A great example being Alien Resurrection, where there wasn't motivated light from space, so he decided the main character must have light that's motivated by herself. His style has evolved from the earlier edgier look to a more toned-down, modern look that is evident in his films with Woody Allen. He has this technique of mixing color temperatures mainly by adding warm tungsten lights to key characters, and subtly adding blue or green hues to negative characters. He isn't afraid to underexpose, and the faces are almost on par with the background. He is one of the rare modern cinematographers who aren't really particular about catchlights. On many movies it isn't present at all, and when it is present, it's mostly a point source of light. It's a strange combination. Large diffuse sources mainly bounce light, but not have that reflect in the eyes. Most of the lighting is from a top 45-degree angle, and the contrast ratio is high. He carries this to night as well. He likes to have his night shots dark, because that's how he sees night. He uses a mixture of tungsten and kinoflows to get this subtle lighting balance, and it takes a profound understanding of film stock to be able to light within such small tolerances. He studies movies of his actors during prep to learn how light reacts to their faces, and conducts a lot of tests to arrive at the look he wants for each show. More recently, he has become a fan of using daylight instead of artificial light, and using negative fill to balance out the contrast. He is a huge fan of shallow depth of field and beautiful close-ups. He lights beautiful women typically from the front, almost keeping it flat. But make no mistake, he does use hard light when it's called for. On day exteriors, he has this tendency to get his actors in the shade while the background is brighter. Again, this is harder than it looks on film. It's very easy to overexpose the background or not have enough fill. He is inspired by many painters, but the one book he carries with him is The Americans by Robert Frank. He is an intensely talented cinematographer who is equally at ease in grave feature films as his high-class commercial work. I hope this brief video makes you curious enough to learn more about the brilliant cinematography of Darius Khondji. The best way to learn more about him is to watch his movies and to read his interviews in the American Cinematographer magazine and elsewhere. If there's a favorite cinematographer whose work you want analyzed, let me know. To see more videos like this one, please subscribe. There are lots more on the way. Bye now.